A master potter named Gwyd once created a jar that looked flawless on the outside, but it carried a secret, a hairline fracture that no one could see. When a traveler named Percy took that jar into the wilderness, he discovered a terrifying truth. A vessel doesn't have to shatter to be useless. It only needs to leak. If you feel like your peace, your joy, and your strength are draining away, no matter how hard you try, you might be carrying a hidden wound. Today, we're following Percy's journey to find out how to stop the leak. In the quiet hills of Galilee, there lived a master potter named Gwyd. He was known for crafting the finest water jars in the region, smooth, symmetrical, and finished with a glaze that shone like the morning sun. One afternoon, Gwyd pulled a jar from the kiln that looked perfect to the naked eye. But as he tapped its side, he heard it. A dull, hollow thud instead of a clear ring. There was a hairline fracture, a hidden wound deep within the clay, invisible under the beautiful glaze. Gwyd set the jar aside in the corner of his workshop, labeled the cracked vessel. Weeks later, a young traveler named Percy stopped by, desperate for a vessel. He was embarking on a long journey through the Judean wilderness and had little coin. Gwyd, moved by compassion, gave him the cracked jar for free, warning him of its flaw. "It looks strong," Percy said, running his hand over the polished surface. "I'm sure it will hold." But as Percy began his trek, the reality of the hidden wound set in. Every morning, Percy filled the jar to the brim. By noon, despite drinking sparingly, the jar was half empty. The crack didn't break the jar, but it leaked his strength. He spent more energy worrying about his water supply than focusing on his path. To others on the road, Percy looked well prepared. Inside, he was parched and anxious. Percy realized a hard truth. A vessel doesn't have to shatter to become useless. It only needs to leak. Exhausted and nearly out of water, Percy found himself at a communal well where an old teacher sat. Percy slumped down, frustrated. "This jar is a lie," he muttered. "It looks whole, but it leaves me empty when I need it most." The teacher looked at the jar and then at Percy. "We are all like this jar, son. We carry wounds from the past, bitterness, unconfessed shame, or secret grief. We glaze them over with smiles and hard work, but the spirit leaks through the cracks. But now, O Lord, you are our Father. We are the clay, and you are potter, and all we are the work of your hand." Isaiah 64:8. "The problem," the teacher continued, "is that you are trying to use a wounded vessel to carry your own supply. You are relying on your own capacity to stay full." The teacher took the jar and emptied the remaining drops. He didn't throw it away. Instead, he took a bit of resin and cedar oil, a balm used by travelers, and worked it into the fracture. "To stop the leak, you must acknowledge the crack." The teacher said, "In the kingdom, our strength doesn't come from being unbreakable. It comes from staying connected to the source." He taught Percy 3 things that day. 1. Expose the crack. Bring the hidden wound to the great potter. Healing begins where the pretense ends. 2. Apply the balm. Grace is the only sealant for a leaking heart. You cannot will yourself to stay full of joy if you are bleeding peace through a secret wound. 3. Stay near the spring. A cracked jar stays full as long as it remains under the running water. Percy finished his journey, but he was a changed man. He no longer boasted about the beauty of his jar or his own endurance. Instead, he told everyone he met about Gwyd, the master who understands the clay, and the teacher who showed him the spring that never runs dry. He realized that his leak had actually been a blessing. It forced him to return to the well more often. It kept him humble. It kept him dependent on the one who provides. Just like Percy discovered at the well, we can't fix our own internal cracks with a better glaze or a fake smile. We have to take our hidden wounds back to the master potter. Maybe today is the day you stop pretending to be unbreakable and start being honest with Gwyd, the one who truly knows the clay. If Percy's story helped you identify a leak in your own spirit, let me know in the comments. I'd love to pray for you. Hit the like button if this encouraged you, and subscribe to join our community here at the well. Until next time, stay close to the spring. God bless.